welcome viewers to another episode of Hotspot on Thursday night, and I'm gladly joined by Cecil Devani. Cecil, thanks for joining me this evening.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, it's always good to be on the show.
Yep, we have a great show lined up for you. We are speaking triathlon, and we also have the pleasure of speaking to Scotty Lose, who's in the country at the moment. But before we get into that and the rest of the show, you can see some really lovely vehicles we're in between, and we're joined by none other than Brad Tassel of the Papua New Guinea Rugby League Foundation. Thanks for joining us, Brad.
No problems, guys. Yeah, pleasure.
Good night, Brad. Could you just quickly explain to us what's going on down here at the Baroka Motors?
Today we just launched the sponsorship of Baroka Motors of the PNG Rugby League Foundation. So it's a really massive deal for us because Baroka Motors have come on board in delivering 4 Defender vehicles to be delivered right across the country as part of our National Schoolboys program. So it enables us to be able to deliver the program right throughout the country, and it's a fantastic show of faith in the PNG Rugby League Foundation and the program, what we're doing in this country to develop the youth.
So you've got the 4 vehicles, so obviously the 4 regions in the country. How important are these vehicles to help you deliver your programs?
Vitally important. Without the vehicles, we wouldn't be able to deliver the programs because, for example, in New Guinea Islands, the program's right across the entire region up there. In Lae, it's right across the Lae region as well as Wau and Madang. Southern, there's a big area as well to deliver the program. And obviously in the Highlands, you've got Enga, Chimbu, Goroka, and those regions that we need to travel across as well. So having a heavy-duty 4-wheel drive vehicle such as this and the sponsorship from Baroka Motors is vitally important to the program.
You have some more centres you're including this year?
Yeah, we have. The program's growing every year. We started off 2 years ago. It's the 3rd year of the program. New centres that are joining Enga, Chimbu. In the islands, you've got Manus, Bougainville. Down in Southern, we're currently talking to Western Province as well about coming on board. So the program is getting more and more recognition. It's providing a pathway for the youth in PNG where they can excel right through to international tours and elite development squads. And the schools in the regions are recognising that, and the governors in the regions are recognising that, and they want to be on board with the program.
Speaking of the governors, we had Honourable Post Pakap down here as well.
Yeah, the governor loved the vehicles. He thought he was taking one away for himself, and he thought it was better than his house. Actually, he reckons it's good enough to sleep in. So.
Okay, Brett, with your experience with these programs, there's obviously a lot of talent that you've come across.
Amazing talent. Look, we've always believed and we're very passionate about the program and passionate about rugby league development in this country, and every day we see some amazing talent, but giving these kids a structured pathway that they can excel is the key. If you just go into villages or you go into regions and you just deliver coaching clinics, then you're not actually giving these kids anything to aim for or to strive for. But if you're giving them a program where they can compete at a higher level every step through that program, then you're giving them a goal. And kids will excel and thrive if they've given a pathway or a goal to excel and to achieve. So we're finding now that we've got some kids that are in the program that are amazingly talented, and we truly believe that we've got the next batch of Kumul players, and we've got probably the next batch of future NRL players that are coming through it as well.
Speaking of programs, what programs are we looking at this year?
Well, this year we've got our national accreditation program is underway at the moment. So Shane and Arnold Karanti are travelling around the regions and delivering coaches, referee and trainer courses right throughout the country. That will be followed up by a proper accreditation course later on in the year. The Schoolboys program will kick off the end of April, and then obviously the competitions will lead into zone championships right throughout the region, into an international tour, national championships and elite development camps as well. So it's a big program, there's a lot of money and time and effort invested into it, but as I said, we're very passionate about it. We truly believe it's the foundation of rugby league in this country.
Sounds like a great year, doesn't it, Cecil?
Yes,
It does.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add on?
No, just look, there's a lot of stuff that's happening in rugby league in this country where we're obviously very passionate about delivering development programs. We're very, very committed to try and extend that further next year, and we will be applying to the Queensland Rugby League for a licence to compete in the Queensland Cup for next season. We've got some pretty positive responses from the QRL in regards to that, and that's just another added step for these kids. These kids can come through the program and then they can be Queensland Cup and QRL already, so they can take that next step in years to come as well. So hopefully we can get that nod. If not, we'll just continue to work on that program.
Great stuff there.
There's some big things lined up there for rugby league in the country. We've got the vehicles here, and of course you heard it there first on Hotspot. They're linking with the QRL, soon to be announced, so good stuff.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, we'll go for a break now. When we come back, we'll be talking the sport of triathlon. Welcome back to Hotspot. Now, as mentioned, we're talking triathlon and we're joined by Stephen Damon. Thanks for joining us this evening on Hotspot.
Thank you.
Okay, coming up this Saturday is a great event, the first for triathlon here in Port Moresby. Please tell us about it.
Yes, it's the first event for this year. It's what we call a sprint triathlon distance. That's 750 meter swim, 20 kilometer cycle, and 5K run.
Okay, I understand this is both an individual and team event?
Yes, individual and team event. We've got so far about 41 people registered, both in the individuals and teams. Mostly athletes from Port Moresby, plus one from WeWork.
Oh, great stuff then. Could you just explain a bit about the sprint triathlon for our viewers? What does it involve and what really is the competition about?
Okay, the triathlon is, first of all, triathlon is part of the events that's going to be competing in the 2015 Pacific Games. So, you know, a lot of things that we're doing with triathlon is geared towards 2015. That's training up our athletes as well as our technical officials. For this Saturday's coming event, we've got a 750 meter swim. So athletes swim out, you know, from at the Ella Beach along the causeway, 375 meters out, 375 back, and then they get into transition, and then they get their bikes, and then they cycle from here to the Koki roundabout. They do, so it's about 2.5 there, 2.5 back. So they do 4 laps to make it 20 kilometers, and then they come back, wreck their bikes, and then they do a 5K run. So it's 2.5 out, 2.5 back again. So that's the sprint distance.
I can already imagine how much it's going to be on your legs. Now, apart from the sprint triathlon, we also have a great event coming up in August this year.
Yeah, this year we have the 3rd Pacific Islands Triathlon and Cycling Championships. So we're going to have Fiji, Tonga, Papua New Guinea, and we're hoping to get the Solomon Islands, Guam, and probably some riders from Australia. So this Pacific Islands Championships is it's an opportunity for Pacific Island countries to compete against each other. The only time that they compete against each other is Pacific Games, and that comes around every 4 years. But with the Pacific Islands Triathlon and Cycling Championships, it comes out annually. So, you know, at least we get some run in our legs and, you know, swim in our arms, and every year.
I hear PNG did well in the last Pacific Islands Triathlon.
Yeah, they did. PNG did really well. We competed in Fiji. Papua New Guinea came first and second in the man category, and first and third in the female category. Our outstanding athletes, you know, last year were Mairi Figure coming first, and Mairi is from Port Moresby, and Popeliao from Manus, and then in the female was Susie Pini and Rachel James.
I can remember when triathlon was fairly new here, introduced here, and it seems that it just kicked off really well.
Yeah, I mean, like, we started the triathlon as a community event in WeWork, and that was a big smash. This year it's its 10th anniversary, so we're really proud of, you know, the achievements with what Pacific Ironmans, you know, come to this stage. Here in Port Moresby, when we moved down to Port Moresby, there was a market for triathlon. There was a lot of, you know, people cycling and as a leisure pastime, cycling, running, and swimming. So when we came down to Moresby and started triathlon, there was already a market here. So, you know, it started slowly with mostly expatriate competitors, but, you know, over the years we're getting more and more Papua New Guinean athletes, and we're also getting like Tabo Bills competing now here in Moresby in our championships. Manus comes here annually. In the course of now and 2015, we'd like to get East New Britain and New Ireland down here as well.
I hear that the kids also have been taking part in triathlon?
Yes, we have what do you call the kids triathlon events. We get some assistance from Whitpeaks New Zealand. They provide us with t-shirts, swim caps, and medals. And we have competitions, mostly swim and run. Community schools here in NCD, in Tabo Bill, WeWork, Manus, and yeah. So every year we get up to about 400 kids, you know, in events. So we're quite happy with the interest there.
Great stuff then. Okay, for this coming Saturday, when does the sprint triathlon begin?
It starts at 6 o'clock, but we ask athletes to be here by 5:30 so we can do registrations, bike racks, bike helmet checks, and safety checks. And at 6 o'clock we start, and we should finish the official finish by 8 o'clock.
We do wish you all the best for this coming Saturday. And just for our viewers' benefit, if you are interested in taking part in triathlon,
Yes, get in touch with me on 7609-7214 or email damien@upsouthevents.com.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us in Hotspot this evening.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity.
We'll go for a break now. There's lots more on the other side.
Welcome back to the show, and we now feature Scott Hill, who's back in the country doing some promotional work for Rugby League.
Now I'm coming back working with YouthLink with Steve and the guys here. Really just sharing what's given me the opportunity to play rugby league, but also the importance of education behind who I am now. I can't play rugby league forever. I'm a carpenter by trade, but to be a carpenter I have to have an education. So we love our sport, we love rugby league, but the most important thing is to have an education. The importance to have an education, go to school. You also get your rugby league through your school as well. So I'm very much looking forward to staying involved with YouthLink here in Moresby, into the future. If I can make a difference and inspire some of the young kids here on making sure that they get their education, but also that they progress well with their rugby league, well, that's a bonus to everyone. I got involved through Steve and the guys here, and as soon as I met Steve through email and over the phone, and he asked me to come up here, I jumped at the opportunity because, look, I've been privileged. I've had a good upbringing in Australia. I've had good education, and it's something that I don't take for granted. Not everyone gets that opportunity, and if I can come to PNG and share the importance of education, the importance of community and coming together, and the importance of rugby league and what it means to the community as well, that's the message I want to push out there. I'm just here till Friday, but no doubt I'll be here a lot more during the year and into the future with different projects, whether it be housing, whether it be rugby league, and a number of other areas. So. No doubt you guys will see a little bit more of me in the future.
What is your impression of rugby league in the country?
Oh, it's religion. It's the best. That's why I'm so passionate about coming back here so many times. I've played in the last two Legends of League games, and as soon as Steve approached me to be able to have the opportunity to come up here again, I jumped at the opportunity because I know how much it means to the people here. But I know how much it means to the country by the importance of education behind rugby league. Look, I think to be able to inspire kids to be able to get to school, get their education, but also get to learn all those great things that we learn from rugby league and we learn from sport to use in all parts of our life to be successful. I've got my own elite sports mentoring program that I do over there, and that's sort of mentoring young youth in a sports environment. So I'd like to take parts of that and instill and work with it over here as well. And no doubt with connection with Steve and our direction forward, I have no doubt that we'll get some success out of being connected over here in PNG. We've got to start with the youth. They're the ones that are going to carry it into the future. They need the support. They need the guidance. And if I can provide that along with Steve and his program, well then we're going to see more successful people come out of PNG, and we'll see some more Marcus buys.
And there you have it. There's a very busy Scott Hill there doing his promotional tour of the country. Please join us after the break. We have more on the show for you. Well, unfortunately, it's about that time where we wrap things up here on Hotspot. But before we go, here's a quick look at this weekend's draws.
And there you have it, the weekend draws, NRL round 2 and NSL round 7 on the weekend. Cecil, what's happening with CRU?
CRU's happening this weekend. Yeah, unfortunately, the weather hasn't been good for us, but I think we're going to have games this weekend. So all you boys that have been, and ladies that have been training, you should have some games this weekend.
Well, wherever you will be taking part in sports or spectating, do stay safe. Cecil, any last words before we go?
Now just remember, please, to respect the umpires, match officials, because without them, we won't have a game on the weekend. Huh? So stay safe and play fair.
All right. Well, it's good night from us.